Literally, I can take it and run it across the bench to see if it's good. You don't have to do that with yours. You just go by it being, if you want to feel it to see what it should feel like, that's what it's like. So I pull my dough and my butter out at the same time.
You want to go back.
Okay. Flour the table lightly. Do not get carried away with the amount of flour. I always like the ball bearing rolling pin for this because it's downward pressure. If somebody might be on the vertically challenged side, there is one lower bench. That one in the back would be your best solution because it's lower down. So
Don't look over here. I'm just saying.
That's I'm So roll your dough out.
We'll get you a stool.
I had a student who was 4'8" one time, and she was able to do it. You can get him after class.
Just kick him in the knee.
When you roll the dough out for encasement, you do not need
Kick
it
him
that
in the
big.
knee.
Don't
Bring him
get
down
it
to your
really, really
size.
long for
Okay.
encasement. You just want it enough to be able to basically fit your butter, like that. Okay? It's a poor example because you want it to be neater than that when you encase. But you don't want it too big. That's the big mistake everyone makes, is they make the dough way too big when they go for the encasement process.
And you don't have butter in all your layers.
Yeah, you'll have too much butter looping over the dough over the butter. You may have a bench knife here, Mara. If there happens to be some butter stick to your parchment, no big deal. Just scrape it off. It's okay. If you put one hand on your butter and one hand on your dough, you're always going to notice your dough's going to be cold. It's fine, because that's going to help to equalize the temperature of the butter. It's going to chill it down. So purposely, actually want your butter a little bit softer than if your butter's way too hard, it starts to crack on you when you bend it. It's too hard. So let it warm up a bit before you try to do this. You want a little bit of room on the sides here. Sometimes I wouldn't do that. Like if I was using a sheeter, like that piece of equipment there, we will be using that at some point. I wouldn't have any room. I'd have the butter completely in line with the dough. But for this, you want to have some room, and you'll see why. Fold this over like that and pinch it right to the edge, like so. Fold this over, pinch it to the edge, and then squeeze this together right there. That's encasement. Does that count as a fold?
No.
No, it does not. Push it straight down. Then, this is crucial. Flour lightly. Rotate it like that. So long side, like this, is away from you. So it's nice and long. If you try to do it like that, you're going to be miserable. Not going to work very well. Have it like that. Seam side down to start. Avoid flour as much as possible. I'm not doing a ton, just a little bit. Take your rolling pin, and all you're going to do is just gently begin to roll out. It's easier to roll this way than this way. That's why you're doing it like that. Halfway through, I'm going to flip it. If you see butter here and here, it means you didn't pinch it correctly near the edges. No big deal. That's why you flip it over so the seam is up, because you want the seam in the inside hidden when you do your fold. Okay. Roll it out. Like I said, avoid flour as much as possible, because you don't want flour laminated in your dough.
Right.
So try to avoid as much as possible. If it doesn't feel like the dough is going anywhere, because it's not, it's stuck to the bench. So make sure to figure out. I'm serious. No, it happens all the time. Somebody's rolling and rolling and rolling, you know, it shouldn't go anywhere. You're stuck. Okay, just it should move somewhat. Nice even motions. You don't get crazy. Keep it nice and neat.
Yeah. You're so smart, George. There's butter in there.
Okay. That's a good length right there. That's about as far as you're going to be able to get it. Ideally, you want to try to get it almost end to end, but if you're a little bit off like that, that's perfectly fine. It's all good. See, that's good right there, just like that. Okay. Nice and neat. Notice how I keep on going like that, so I'm straightening it up. Here's the trick. I'm going to drop that on the floor. I'm going to get a new one in. I didn't want that anyway.
Make it disappear.
Take a pastry wheel, and you're going to nip off. I'm not taking a ton. I'm just taking a little bit from the very, very edge, because I'm going to re-expose the butter. Save these. We'll get a big container. We'll all put our scrap dough in it, because I'm going to show you guys what to do with scrap croissant dough. Same with this. I'm going to nip this end off right there. That re-exposes the butter. That is crucial, because when I do my first tri-fold, Now the butter is going to be against the dough. So there's butter there. So when I fold this over, the butter is now encasing the dough. So when I have my final croissant, there won't be any rawness or big layers in the center. It will all be butter the whole way through. Makes a difference. Don't take a ton off when you do it. Don't take off like heaping amounts. That's a big mistake people make. They take off way too much. Just you're nipping it just slightly, not a lot. Okay. The first one you do for practice, you see how far it goes? That one's a little too far, so I'm going to go a little bit next. You don't want that to occur when you do it, and you don't want it to look like this. So you see how I'm taking the edges and I'm purposely pulling them right to the edge? Then I'm folding this over, so it's nice and even the whole way across. But to make sure it stays that way, I take a slightly damp pastry brush. Don't have it sopping wet. Unfold it. Brush right there. And then I'm going to brush right there. Pull that to the edges, nice and neat and even, and pull this down and pull that right to the edge as well, like that. Nice and even, nice and neat. Being OCD really helps here, for me. Okay? That's one turn. That's it. Exactly. I'm going to mark it with one finger. I know I've done one turn. Plastic wrap.
Who created
Probably some apprentice who screwed up like a high butter in dough by rolling and folding it. Who knows? We'll never know. Almost everything we do in cooking and baking and everything was a mistake that somebody reproduced. Think about it. Okay, wrap it up and label. Kind of like that, right?
What's it say?
One fold, chef, and one fold.
Okay.
Here's what I want you all to do. After your first fold, put them into the walk-in. There's a trays in the back, we'll put them there. On the back shelving, somewhere on the back shelving. Try not to be in there too long. I beg of you, I don't want the bread to warm up in there. So that's my big thing. Don't go in the fridges and stuff forever looking for your stuff. We're not a big group. There's no need for you to be in there that long.